Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Loqui.
Well, the first
Today-
episode, kind of. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, welcome back. It has a kind of nice,
Yeah, it's got a good ring
familiar
to it.
feeling.
Yeah.
Got a good familiar. We're not doing it again. We've already started. This
Yeah.
is
There's no restarts. It's happening this time. Can't do it again.
doing it.
Right, so we're going to look at some Sneako. We're going to talk about Andrew Tate. Some other, we see where it goes, right? But we'll start off with some
all that kind
Sneako
of
right
stuff.
now. He's just quite a character right now. I feel like he does put it on a bit though, to get some
definitely. A
clout.
lot of these guys do.
Fresh and Fit, I think, are just being themselves.
He helps you personally.
You gotta buy YouTube Premium. You broke bitch.
Such a crocodile. YouTube Premium.
I'm lying. I actually still love Brett Cooper.
This is an interesting one because, like, you've got, I don't know, like it's quite interesting. So you got Brett Cooper, who's kind of conservative with a small c, kind of they're a typical kind of Daily Wire, Ben
He's signed to
Shapiro.
Daily Wire.
Basically, she's Ben Shapiro. She's literally Ben Shapiro.
Oh, right,
Female
okay,
Ben
okay.
Shapiro. And then you got Sneako. I mean, Sneako, he's not really a conservative. He's kind of different. He's more just a
He
manosphere
doesn't.
kind of guy.
Yeah, it's
At
kind
least
of weird.
now,
He's
I
like
mean, I know his old
neoconservative in a way.
content. Yeah, or more neo than the neoconservative. I mean, he's not even that conservative. He's probably
Yeah.
okay with gay people. Okay, I mean, also they are, to be honest. But
Yeah, they all are.
like-
Well, I don't know. Ben Shapiro, he likes to pretend he is a bit, doesn't he?
it's kind of in a weird way that they do the whole kind of like, well, my religion doesn't support it, but I'm fine with it because I don't know, freedom, whatever. They basically use it to get
That's
the
basically
extra
when he
votes,
says
actually.
my religion
Yeah.
doesn't support it, but I'm fine with it because of freedom. He's basically just saying, yeah, I'm homophobic, but I'm gonna pretend I'm not, so I don't get cancelled.
I mean, it's just a bit of I don't know. The whole religious thing, the whole Judeo-Christian stuff that a lot of these like neoconservatives do. It's very
Oh yeah.
very cringe, very performative. Yeah, it's very weird. It's a very American thing. I think it is very uniquely American.
Yeah, I feel like in the
But, yeah,
UK,
that's
it's like you're either based liberal, not to be biased or anything, or you're like kind of builder who's mildly homophobic but doesn't realise it and is actually a nice person. They just kind of say, "Are you a homo?" And then there's like full on
like a mean way,
wax jacket, fox hunter.
I mean,
You know?
I think political terms
Tory.
have a very different meaning in America as well. Like a liberal in America and a liberal in in the UK is a very different thing. Like,
Yeah.
when we think I mean, in America, a liberal is essentially a communist, which is ridiculous. I mean, a lot of the conservatives, will say,
More like
"Oh,
a
he's bloody
socialist.
liberal communists." It's like, what do you mean? How are liberals communists? or
Communism
socialists?
was
They're not.
supposed to be really
Liberals-
liberal. It's
Like,
kinda
I mean,
isn't.
it's progressive, but it's not. Liberalism is capitalist. It's liberals really are capitalists. Maybe they like some level of redistribution, but generally they're very capitalist people. At least that's the European idea.
Wait, liberals in the UK
so-
are?
Yeah, liberals are generally capitalist.
Probably
That's
because
least
no one's
how
a
you-
communist.
I mean, yeah, no, communism is.
But if
basically
anyone's going to be a
relevant,
communist,
like,
it's going to be a liberal, though.
Well, I don't know. I think it's more like it's kind of mutually exclusive. Like, you can't be a liberal and a communist because liberal, at least in the technical sense of what liberal is, a liberal is someone who believes in like market capitalism. And I don't know, if you look up like a definition of liberal, you'll probably find
Oh, but in the
like,
US, it's totally not like that at all.
in the US though, or in the US, use it in a more kind of colloquial way, where you have, they kind of associate it with just being left wing, being communist. So I mean, I don't know. I guess there are problems with liberalism as well, but like it's it's a bit of a strange thing to lie and just kind of put the I mean, there's a saying, a lot of leftists or radical leftists, communists, they openly say liberals will be the first one to get the wall, meaning that like liberals will be the first out of all the political enemies of the communists. It'll be the liberals, the centrists, who get put up against the wall and shot first, because they're seen as the ones who aren't willing to change things.
It's because they they want to be more free, and communism's supposed to be free in practice, but then it ends up being very not free.
I think well, let's see more of the video.
Chat, Brett or Shannon? Who do I pick? See, Brett and I, like, we have triplets, but Shannon, we're gonna survive together.
It kind of looks like she's in a children's hospital.
Gave a bunch of attributes, so we're not.
Doesn't it?
Oh, sorry.
It kind of looks like he's in a children's hospital. Do you know what I mean?
He
got some Damien Hirst stuff
in the
going on.
fucking, like, in the ward. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just visualize her. Just a conservative Twitch streamer in a children's hospital. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Oh wow.
That's good.
A lot of Shannon's chat. What about Brett though? Look at Brett.
She's like in between a nerd.
Look at Brett.
Watch a fucking another video. What the fuck is this, man?
She's like in between a nerd.
Look at Brett.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right, let's switch over to another one. I want to cope and see if it's Sneako.
Yeah, I feel like we need to.
He's having a laugh, really.
Both. Bruh.
Look at Brett. That's masterfully done. That's like some art, man. That's really art. Masterpiece.
That's just stuck in my head for like a week now.
What about the gender fluid girl is completely delusional? Oh, it's 50 fucking minutes. Oh, that doesn't matter. We don't have to watch it all.
I feel like
we just watch some
probably
bits.
end up kind of agreeing with Sneako, but not completely.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting. Because
that's the good.
I'm not really one to think that being gender fluid is legitimate.
There'd be more than two genders? What do you think? This is
Yeah,
and also Sneako is kind of a weirdo as well. So
this is one of the most viral. This video got shadow banned. It has 43 million views, and you can't even find it when you search it. But they still, like, the truth really prevails. I personally think there's only two genders.
Chill.
What do you think? Put the number in the chat.
This is just a serious.
I think that too, to be honest.
People know my point of view. There are two.
But I do think you can be non-binary. You know, people always like the two genders thing. I think there's two genders only, but I think you can be non-binary. You know, in between.
Well, like, do you mean like you can be kind of non-conforming in the way that you act?
It's all the whole social presentation. It's act, dress, walk, everything. You know, I think you can be in between. I mean, it makes sense, right? I think you can identify as in between and be legitimate.
I think being gender non-conforming is probably better than kind of. I think if you're gender non-conforming, I feel like it's good to do it in the sense that you're not kind of altering anything about yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe when I get a bit sus with it when it's like, I don't know, when people are like, oh, I want to take this to be more non-binary. I want to take a certain hormone. Then it's like, oh, I don't know about that now.
Yeah,
That's
it kind of starts to make you a bit suspicious.
Weird now, but
yeah,
because like actually, what's good for you? But I mean.
If you're non-binary, then why do you need to take something? You know, it kind of seems like either you are trans and it's hard to come out, or I don't know.
I see it as kind of either or kind of thing. I mean, Steven Crowder is a very interesting figure, though. I would be very interested to talk to Steven Crowder. I guess
he's not a nice guy, though.
I mean, I think I would like to do a kind of change my mind. I would almost like to talk to him on a change my mind thing, because I think I could. I mean, this is the thing, right? Has he ever actually changed his mind? Like, he's never actually changed his mind.
No, he never changes his mind because he deliberately speaks to ridiculous people.
To people that
just to conform his,
wonder,
confirm his bias.
If I spoke to him and kept my cool and spoke in a very rational kind of normal way, like, he probably just wouldn't air it, would he? He probably wouldn't show it.
No.
Or maybe he would. I don't know.
No, he wouldn't. He 100% wouldn't. You know the way he is with the Sam Cedar as well. I know that's controversial, but
Yeah.
You know how he
very,
is.
That was very cringe.
His whole channel is just nitpicking basically, or not nitpicking. It's it's taking all the bits that confirm his bias and everyone else's bias. That's his whole channel.
Yeah, he basically just gets some fucking cringy bloody super far left kind of person to just soy out in front of him, and then he basically just goes, "Oh, well, this person's an idiot." And it's like, well, yeah, they are kind of an idiot, but like you're also an idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like, yeah, they are an idiot, and I know you're getting them to be an idiot because it makes you seem like less of one, but in reality, you're both stupid.
You both have nothing to say.
Yeah, you both could just shut up.
You're kind of both proof that like the whole world is fucked.
Yeah, yep, pretty much.
Oh god, I mean, yeah, it's interesting though. It's an interesting experiment. I would like to see someone legitimately change my mind kind of thing. That would maybe, it's a cool idea, but he does it in such a manipulative way. But anyway, yeah, let's see what.
Genders, go ahead and change my mind. It's the opposite of cable news. We're not going to edit anything out of context. You said you disagree.
We're not gonna. Yeah, we won't edit anything out of context, but we will edit you out if you say something base and that dismantles my career.
Yeah, if you. To be fair though, I will say he did agree. He did actually upload that video of the guy kind of destroying him on the socialism is evil thing.
Oh, I think I remember.
He had a very interesting guy, a conservative socialist, which are very rare. You don't get a lot of conservative socialists.
Yeah, definitely. That's really odd.
It's a rare one. You don't get loads of them, and he was kind of. Yeah, and he was he was making a pretty good argument. And I think even if you don't agree with socialism, you kind of have to agree. It was like, there is a, you can't really say it's evil or not evil. It's just a kind of economic system. It's just a way of distributing things. Like, it's not inherently a bad thing. It's just how you go about it, right?
Yeah.
I think calling something evil, I mean, that brings about a kind of, a very. Right, I mean, what's the kind of, what am I trying to think of? Like, it's a very extreme thing to say, saying it's like evil, and you're saying it's like always bad, and it will always be bad, and
yeah, evil kind of means like the worst thing, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like no matter what form. Yeah, and it's like, well, maybe. I mean, is there no way you could think of some kind of hypothetical socialism that would be good? I mean, I don't know. I think that's just a bit ridiculous to call something like that evil. It's just an economic system. I don't really see why you're moralizing it.
Yeah.
Like, all sorts of systems can be good and evil. It just depends on how they're run, how they're doing. Yeah.
Evil means profoundly immoral and wicked, according to Oxford.
Yeah.
So basically, it basically means
a bit of a ridiculous thing to do.
The worst thing.
To call it evil.
Yeah. It's kind of.
I'm wondering the phrasing of the question. Are you arguing that there's not more than like man and woman? Or are you arguing there's not a difference?
Damn, chat, everybody says no? You know that you're all part of the problem? You're all toxic and problematic? Do you know you're all transformer-phobic?
Bro, just saying transformer-phobic is like borderline transphobic. You know?
I mean, I don't know, it's just kind of overdone.
It's just dumb, yeah, I know, but it's like you're trying to be rude to trans people. It's just kind of odd. Yeah. And he's also like, when he does that, you know what he's doing? He's doing that screaming voice. He doesn't directly do it there, but in general, I've seen Sneako doing this, where he tries to frame that as, oh, that's what most people will think. That's the reaction that most people have. That's what the lefts do. But in reality, it's just like a select amount of crazy people that do that. Most people don't do that.
Yeah, I do think that most people aren't that deluded. I do think it is a loud minority, and I mean, there's a loud minority obviously because they're loud. Everyone pays attention to them, but
yeah,
I think there are a lot of people that are very kind of moderate in their views that aren't kind of ridiculous enough. That aren't like, they're probably fine with gay people, lesbian people, bisexual people. And they transgender people, that's fine, but then there's also limits to that stuff as well. I think that's kind of the probably the most beneficial way, at least in my view, the probably most beneficial ways to view things. Like,
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
but like, yeah, it's a complex one. I can see why.
Not only does he try and caricature the left as insane, and most people as insane in that way, and like it's us against the world, guys, which he loves to do. It kind of fosters an attitude of just dismissing what anyone else says in that's in argument against you, because you're just kind of writing it off as crazy along with all the other stuff that's crazy.
You have to be a bit careful with that, yeah. Like, kind of just instantly saying that the opposite side are stupid, and I mean, yeah, the opposite side don't always send their best, but like there are some legitimately very.
When you say the opposite side, you mean the left?
Far left. Yeah, I mean, like whatever you believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, mainstream.
Yeah, both. Let's be honest, both far sides are just ridiculous.
But like, there are some very intelligent left-wing, right-wing people, who say very interesting things to be thought about.
Yeah.
And I guess like, yeah, it's probably not always the best idea to just shut it down as stupid. I mean, I think maybe I subscribe to that kind of view, is the kind of view of there are truth in kind of both sides. I know that's a very kind of centrist sounding thing to say, but there is a kind of truth in kind of a lot of things that they're,
yeah.
Like, okay, well, for example, think of the issue of abortion, right?
Yeah.
Like, on one hand, I would say it's kind of true that abortion is kind of a nasty, horrible thing. It's kind of a horrible thing. It's not very nice, right? You are aborting a person who's going to exist.
No, it's lovely.
It's kind of horrible.
That's really nice.
It's kind of, it's a brilliant, lovely thing that we all love.
Well, it's not nice, as are most.
It's not very nice.
Yeah, most things that happen in a hospital,
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not. It feels pretty horrible. Inherently, it feels like, even though I don't agree that you are killing someone, it kind of feels like a little bit on some weird level you are. But at the same time, it's also kind of true that it's necessary. It's kind of true that you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because, what's the alternative? And I mean, I guess we'll get into that another time. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just kind of a necessary evil. I think I think I do kind of subscribe to there are kind of truths in both sides, and you can. I think it's good to almost be empathetic to kind of see how both sides feel and kind of see why do you feel like that? What are the real problems, and kind of be able to take people seriously instead of just trying to shut them down as, oh, you're this, you're that. Try and like, actually, okay, why do you feel like that? And you can kind of seek to understand them more, probably reach a better conclusion. But yeah, maybe that's the liberal in me talking, I would say.
The libtard, the libcock.
Okay, so
the libtard,
you're
yeah.
saying male and female is a gender, not a sex.
That's the dumbest argument that these people make. Gender and sex are two different things.
That's dumb.
Right?
That's a fucking fact, Sneako. Dumb. That's a fact, though.
I would say the way I've always thought of gender is that gender is outside of sex but related to it. That's always been the way I've interpreted it.
Yeah, I think it comes from it. Yeah.
It comes from it, but it's kind of not the same thing. It's different to it. Like, this is the best shot of Sneako right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of explains his brain, doesn't it?
But, I think I've always thought of like, sex is kind of that's your biology, of course. And gender, I guess, that's the social role. But, I mean, the social role is very linked to your biology. Because, social roles don't just come out of nowhere. You are born into, you are kind of, certain traits are passed down from your ancestors. Sure, okay, what it means to be a woman, as Matt Walsh was asking you, what is a woman? Yeah, okay, that is a kind of, it is kind of more relative than you think. Like, I'm sure the definition of the role of a woman in India compared to the UK, compared to China, I'm sure it's different. I'm sure there are decent differences, right?
Yeah.
But I reckon it all kind of converges to this one kind of thing. Like, it all all kind of converges.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Like, there's
there is
obvious
a kind
reason
of
why
general notion
yeah,
of what a woman is.
it comes from a biological place, but it kind of twists and changes just a bit, you know. But here, if I look up sex definition, obviously it comes up with sexual intercourse first, but two is either of the two main categories, male or female, into which humans and most other living things are divided into by basis of their reproductive functions. And then I look up gender, either of the two sexes, male and female, especially when considered in reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. So every time someone like Sneako, let's say, says all that, you know, does this rant, thinking he's so right, when you're one Google away from being obviously wrong. Like, shut the fuck up, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is actually a really interesting side of this kind of not just the manosphere and everything, but also it's almost like a whole frame of reference thing where it's like it's seeing like almost it's very hard to say what I'm trying to say, but okay, here's a very interesting thing, right? So you know the term cisgender, which means like you are kind of, I guess you're
not trans.
You have a certain biology. Yeah, you're not trans. And so there are a lot of people that are fine with the term cisgender, and a lot of people that are not fine with the term cisgender.
Oh yeah,
and it's really interesting.
How are people not fine with that term? They just want to deny trans people exist.
I think there is a very interesting side to this, and that is that if you essentially give in to the idea of, oh yeah, I'm going to call myself a cis man all the time instead of just a man, call myself a cis man.
Well, yeah, but no one says it all the time. It's just like it's just like a technical term, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess in some ways, but it is a very modern invention. It is kind of like
because there was no distinction before, or no.
I can see how
recognized.
People would see that as like a kind of ideological capitulation, like kind of, you know, okay, so this ideology's come in, it's defining the terms and the academia, so that we all kind of shift relative to this cultural.
Yeah.
Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
So people don't want to even accept that it's a established thing, and it validates trans people when they refer to themselves as cisgendered, so they don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think also it just kind of, when you refer to yourself as cis, it almost feels. I don't know. I feel like on some inherent level, I can't feel this. I don't call myself cisgendered. I just feel strange to say about myself. But
why you are?
And it does kind of feel like, well, yeah, I know, but it feels like it's someone controlling my kind of way of identifying rather than.
But it's the same identity. It's the same identification, though. It just means you're not trans.
Kind of.
It just means you're not trans. I don't get.
But it's kind of within you're kind of moving everyone into that paradigm. That's kind of the idea, is that. So, like, you have a lot of people that kind of disagree with these ideas, and the idea is that if you have, you know, cis. How do I say this? It's very strange, but it's like, you know, if my identity shifts from man to cis man, then I'm kind of giving in. I'm kind of like giving in. I'm kind of just saying that, like, okay, I do kind of agree. That is how things are. I agree with everything that
you're saying. You're saying that's why
the current mainstream political narrative.
Yeah, that's why
whatever, you know.
Some people don't like it, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I don't know how I feel about calling myself a cis man. That feels very unusual. That feels very strange.
Just because it's new, but think about the definition. Think about it logically. You are.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's almost like. It does. I feel like it does have a political side to it. You know, I do think we do live in a world. Yeah, everything is.
It feels like it because of the way it's used, but it's not
I think everything is political in a way, and
in that sense.
When you control the language and you kind of control the narrative as well. So like, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not anti-trans or anything, but it's just something to think about. I don't know, like. Because I think it's something I used to kind of have that view of academia and all the kind of institutions where it was like, I would kind of view it as, okay, well they're more left wing and they're also academia, so well maybe they're just right. Maybe left wing is the correct thing then, because academics are intelligent, they're scientists and they're sociologists and they know all this stuff and they understand everything. They have better knowledge. They're more left wing. Maybe that means something. Maybe they are. But then there's also another way you could view it, which is the academics overwhelmingly left wing. Maybe that actually the other way around, which is that they're actually influencing academia to be more left wing, and for culture to be more left wing. I don't know. It's a very interesting. I don't really know the answer on this. I'm kind of stuck in the middle right now. I'm in a very weird place politically right now. I don't really know where I'm at or know what I'm kind of moving. I could go in different ways. I don't really know what's going on, but
Okay.
like I kind of see truth. I think I don't know. I think actually, to be honest, I think I do lean to the side that academia is maybe overwhelmingly left wing.
I don't know
to the point
anything about
where
that.
it's
Or even
maybe
what
not
that means.
beneficial.
What, bloody teachers are left wing, you say?
Yeah, like
I think the
well,
same
not so much
split
teacher,
in
but
people
more
that are
like
left and right
university.
wing are the same split in teachers. Why would it not be?
I mean, I think my understanding is that if you like poll, especially among things like sociology, certain
Oh, okay. I
topics,
imagine in specific areas, then it's different.
you find. I mean, yeah, I think among STEM, it's basically like negligible, but among like sociology and kind of social studies and history and all these kind of you find there is an overwhelming number of like Marxists and very, very far left people.
Huh.
And
In America.
I know. America, also in Britain as well. And I don't know. I wonder. I don't know. It's hard to kind of work out, which way around is it? Is it that they are academic, and then they came to the conclusion that left wing is the right way, or is it that they're left wing and they're trying to push academia in that way?
No, it
And
can't. No, it's not the second one. That's some master
I don't
plan
know.
shit.
I mean, not like they're trying to, but I think that people just kind of, that's just how people work. Like, they try and it's. What am I trying to say? This is the problem with trying to record something, is that it's kind of sometimes I have moments where I kind of need to think of what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
a bit of a think.
But I'm saying maybe it's something that somewhere down the line I'll get better at. But
We can come back to it if you want.
yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, to be honest, actually, I would maybe partially blame some of the situation on like Ben Shapiro and stuff like, and people like Dennis Prager and all these kind of like neoconservative guys, because there is this thing. Actually, Lauren Southern made this point when I was watching one of her videos. I was like, it's a really interesting point actually, that like one of the biggest mistakes that conservatives made was pushing this whole idea that you shouldn't be in the arts, you should become a tradesman, and this, and you shouldn't be in the arts. Because what they basically did is they forked over the culture to left-wing people instead, which is a really stupid, well, I mean, for them, a really stupid thing to do. I mean, I guess you're left-wing, then it's not a stupid thing to do. But, and the interesting thing is, it does, there is this kind of bad culture in the right-wing people where they don't really like art very much, or they don't seem as engaged with art, which is maybe that's more the Ben Shapiro types. They kind of look down.
Ben Shapiro's
Like, you've probably
stupid,
seen
though.
it, like,
Yeah.
like kind of Ben Shapiro's saying stuff like, "Oh, well, classical is the best, and then jazz is worse, and then
Yeah,
rock
he's
is even
stupid.
worse than that." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ben Shapiro's
not how
brain dead,
music
man.
works.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just. And for a guy like Ben Shapiro, I mean, he's not. I mean, okay, yeah, he says some dumb shit, but he's not an idiot. Like,
He is an idiot,
he
though.
went to fucking Harvard. But he went to Harvard Law.
Yeah.
Like, he's not an idiot.
I think he is
like,
an idiot still.
But like, I don't know. I don't think you go to Harvard Law and be an idiot. I just don't
Harvard
think
is
that happens.
notorious
I think
for
you have to
having,
be-
all their students being paid off to get in number one. Number two
I
is
mean,
you
yeah,
can
I
be
know
smart
that,
when it comes to law and then dumb when it comes to everything else. You know?
I mean, yeah, I'd say probably maybe it's not a dumb thing, maybe more of just a bigoted view or kind of like a bit of a kind of I'm better than I don't know, but
Oh, maybe yeah. He's like he
It's
does
a bit
not
of a-
care. It's so funny how Ben Shapiro honestly doesn't. He's so feelings over facts, and he was the one that coined the
Yeah.
phrase "facts over feelings." Like Ben Shapiro, you are the single most feelings over facts person ever, like in the whole sphere right now, the
I
online
think
sphere.
it's funny actually. We probably don't really need this video actually out, but you know, I actually thinking about Ben Shapiro and how it's always the facts don't care about your feelings, and actually I disagree. I think feelings don't care about your facts. I think that's actually the conclusion. I think feelings don't care about your facts because I think people have certain ideas about certain things, no matter how much proof you give them, they will never change their mind. No matter how much. I mean, have you ever heard of like cognitive dissonance before? You know, that's like when you have two
Yeah,
ideas that don't match up, and you have this kind of state of like, what the fuck? You know, your brain is all confused and like, because you hold two contradicting beliefs.
oh yeah. That's really odd though.
You know, your brain isn't just like a computer all the time. Your brain actually does contradict itself, does make mistakes, and in a way, I think the conclusion is not facts and care. And facts and care about your feelings is such a like narcissistic idea because it's like as if the way you're kind of assuming the way you've interpreted the facts are correct, you know. And I mean, I guess I have to agree with the kind of the Nietzsche quote. It's like that there are no facts, only interpretations. You know, like okay, there is some objective truth in the world, maybe, but we can't really see that because we have our own perspectives, we have our own kind of views on things, and that kind of taints it.
We are back.
Online.
Yeah, we're back.
What was I going off on again? I was,
You were in the middle of a
go
spiel
off,
as
Queen.
well.
Go off,
Queen, you were going off right
Um,
now in the middle
go
of a
off,
spiel.
Queen.
Ben
Skits were
Shapiro.
ranting about Ben Shapiro. That's it. About the facts carry feelings. Yeah, that was it. I was saying about different perspectives on things and how like, yeah, the whole like facts and care about your feelings things kind of. It's just kind of it's a very ignorant way of seeing the world, you know. Because I just think like, people don't always agree on the facts though. Like, how can you just say facts and care about your feelings? People don't agree on whether the election was won by Trump or Biden. Like that. How can you say facts and care about your feelings? People don't even know what the facts are. People don't even know like.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, it's feelings and care about your facts. Like you could
So
say
then
whatever
you're saying, yeah.
you want to say to some of these people. Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say to people, like saying, "Oh, well, Trump secretly won the election, and everything was all fake." And all. You could say whatever you want. You could show all the proof in the world that it wasn't, and they would never accept it because they feel a certain way about it. Because they don't want Biden to win. Because they don't support Biden.
Yeah.
And in a weird way.
And Ben Shapiro does
actually,
the
like,
same coping
just
thing as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, I would respect it if they just came out and said, "I don't care about democracy, and I just want Trump to win, and I'm fine with." Even if it means that faking it, I'm fine with Trump winning. I would respect that more, because I mean, on one level, I'd probably say a similar thing, but for the other side, and also, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's getting into democracy. I don't know how much we want to get into that, but you know, I guess like, it's just I don't know. It's a bit of a. I think it's a bit of a bad way of seeing the world. The whole facts and care about your feelings. It's a little bit too objectivist, kind of.
Yeah, some issues are kind of feeling
libertarian,
based.
kind of. I don't know. It's just not very interesting. Not a very interesting way of seeing the world. It's not a very thoughtful.
It's
way
not
of being.
nuanced. The problem is, it's not nuanced. Most of the time, it would make sense but it's just, you know, sometimes it's not nuanced, and obviously Ben Shapiro doesn't actually follow this at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ben Shapiro is, but yeah, he's got a very certain kind of, I guess, idea he wants to push, which I guess is what Judeo-Christian values and what else? What is this kind of thing? It's kind of conservatism, but it's not that conservative, is it? I mean, it's the kind of conservative where
yeah, it's like
Conservative, but not to the point where they all hate him because he's Jewish.
yeah, it's that kind of. It's like Judeo-Christian. It's a very. I mean, the notion of the whole Judeo-Christian thing is that's a very American idea that doesn't really exist in Europe. Like that's I think it's quite a clever idea, to be fair. It kind of unifies Christians and Jews into this like one monolithic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Judeo-Christian values are under threat from Islam. It's like a very good kind of bring these two peoples that have not always got on very well and kind of bring them together into this like one big monolithic thing. I kind of it's a very tactical thing. I think it makes sense, but
yeah.
I don't know, Judeo-Christian values. I don't know if I buy it really. I think it sounds a bit ridiculous. I mean, do Jews and Christians have loads in common?
I think they do have a lot in common, actually. But...
They do. Sure. They have a lot in terms of but like, I mean, Jesus. I mean, that's not. Jews don't believe in Jesus, right? That's a. Okay, this is starting to get a little bit out of my knowledge zone. Some of it, but
No, I think Jews do believe in Jesus, don't they? They keep. You can look that up.
They really existed, but I'm pretty sure Jews
look it up.
Don't. Yeah, we'll have to make sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure the idea is that Jews they're basically like Christian, like the Torah, which is their religious, basically their equivalent in the Bible, is like it's basically essentially like the first 14. God, I don't even want to say it. I'm probably getting it wrong, but I guess we'll have to choose and just put Jesus. See what they think. So I'm pretty sure it's they don't buy it. I mean, that's where Judas, I think, comes from. Like, because Judas was I'm pretty sure the
he betrayed
Jesus.
Jesus.
The rejection. Yeah, the rejection of Jesus as Messiah. So it's basically like the religion that evolved into Christianity, but I guess kind of didn't accept everything that came after.
Wait, so they believe in Jesus, they just didn't like him.
Yeah, they don't believe he's the prophet.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like they half
and they kind of believe is a.
Yeah, they believe he was a guy, but they don't believe he's a prophet. Okay.
Yeah, they don't believe. They think it was basically like bullshit. I guess. Yeah, that's my understanding. And I mean, okay, maybe I'll get criticized for this, but like, I don't know, how is that really? Are they really like cohesive? Is that really cohesive? I feel like that's a pretty big fucking like disagreement. Like, who's the Messiah of God? I don't think you can just kind of push that under the rug. I think that is kind of I don't know. Judeo-Christian stuff. It seems very like constructed to kind of. I would say it's probably it's a very kind of American conservative thing. It's been constructed.
Yeah.
It's a kind of religious right way. And like, here's another weird thing also is that like the biggest supporters of Israel in America are not actually. I'm pretty sure they're actually like evangelical Christians. But they're like some of the biggest supporters of Israel because they have this like strange kind of. It's quite unusual. Evangelical. If we look up like evangelical Christians in Israel. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like this is a weird thing about Judaism because it is a kind of like ethno-religion. Like it is a kind of there's like a weird ethnic side to it, which is kind of uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's like it's there's kind of the idea you've probably heard like Jewish people are the chosen people, and it's kind of weird. And it's weird. So evangelicals support Israel because they believe. Yeah, it's very odd. So you get this kind of religious right in America that even though they're Christian, they support Israel for I guess Jewish people and people that are. It's very strange. It's very unusual. I don't really know why. I guess it's just kind of well, it could just be this because they want to bring around the end times, which is a bit mental.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Let me see that again. What? I don't understand.
support Israel because it believes it's important for fulfilling end time prophecy.
What?
That's very weird.
Is that John Legend in that advert as well? That's John Legend, isn't it? Or am I being racist?
Robert Jeffries.
It kind of looks like John Legend.
Which guy?
Oh, it's gone. Oh, never mind. But wait, I'll look up John. John
it's
Legend.
weird, and I don't know. I'm very over the whole religious right in America. I'm very done with this.
Yeah.
I'm so done with them. I just think they are honestly, they are just the worst. They are so. I don't know what it is about them. I could probably just go on about them for hours because it's just like, man, they just trigger me so much. It's. I don't know. What do you say? Sorry.
I just said triggered.
Yeah, I'm getting triggered. I mean, I don't know. I think when you have this, the problem with the religious right is they are kind of delusional. They just come off a bit delusional, a bit mental, all the time. You have, this. I don't know what it is. It's almost like this strange kind of American, just delusion of and a complete misunderstanding of how people work. So, and this sounds weird, but it's kind of quite abstract, but I'll kind of elaborate. And that is so first of all, I think about American gun culture, right? Now, to be honest, compared to the average Brit, I probably am more pro-gun than the average Brit in the sense that I think there might be some way for people to own guns, but it would be so strict that it would be, barely anyone would. I like to maximize freedoms when I can.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I really don't like American gun culture. Situations where this kind of freedom actually restricts your freedom in a weird way. And it's kind of hard to describe, but the idea, I guess, I have is, everyone has a gun, we're all libertarian, all have a guns in our utopian ground. But, everyone having a gun means a low level of social trust, so in a way it means you have to walk around with a gun. You have to have a gun, and then because everyone has guns and the guns are so deregulated. Your children go to school in what's basically a military facility, where you have these ridiculous Republican people arguing children should go to school in these here's what we do instead of just regulating the firearms in America, we send our children to schools that resemble military bases.
Yeah.
We arm the teachers.
Oh my gosh.
So you're so obsessed with this freedom to own a weapon, you will take away the freedom of your children to have a safe, enjoyable school and upbringing. You're basically sacrificing the happiness of your children for this freedom that you value so much. Why do you value this freedom? Well, I mean, I'd say it's emotional.
Yeah, it's just because they've been taught to really, you've got to hold on to this thing forever. This is the end all.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's I mean, what do you expect? You get that kind of argument from some where it's the government could come and get me. It's government will
come and get you, mate, if they want to get you, especially the American government.
The government.
They will get you.
The American government on their own territory, they will come and you will be sitting on a bench and your head will explode because a drone 5 miles up has fucking targeted you. It doesn't matter how many guns you have. The American government can do whatever they want. Okay, so don't fucking. What are you talking about? Stockpiling up on weapons.
I don't even think they believe
you're
that.
You're a goner.
Yeah.
You're a fucking
they just
goner.
Say it.
They can do whatever they want. You ever heard of the fucking Havana syndrome? They could probably just fucking. I mean, that was probably Russians. Even
what was that? I think I know that.
But, they could probably just shoot radio waves to your fucking brain. You fucking microwave yourself.
Yeah, I think I know that one.
Come on,
Russian.
guys. Do you really think that having any amount of guns would defend you from the US fucking government?
Nope.
Good fucking luck. Yeah, these are the same people that have done some of the crazy shit in the world. The US government has pulled some fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
US government were trying to do mind control. Okay, you know, like you
Yeah.
well, and they got away with it for a long. There was one guy I think was trying to expose something related to MK Ultra. He accidentally fell out of a hotel window.
Oh.
You know, oh, wow, okay. You know, wow, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Oh, but
What? Oh,
the
what an
glass-
accident! What a
he
shame.
accidentally fell out the hotel window, but the glass was broken inwards. That's kind of weird. Oh no, actually, it wasn't that. It was but instead of opening the window and killing himself, he ran through the glass. Because that's what you do when you're going to kill yourself, jump out a window, you run through the glass. Like,
Yeah, a bit less likely.
you know, with all due respect, you know, you're not. I understand. Okay, in the fucking 1700s, having a fucking musket, you know, sure, okay, right to bear arms, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you can shoot one round every minute. Yeah, it's fine. But the worst you had to deal with. Yeah, America was pretty weak at the time. It was a proper colonial kind of territory. You know.
Yeah.
But like now, it just doesn't really scale up. Like the weapons we have access to now you can tear people to pieces. You know, it's just not the same thing. And honestly, I think people just need to be more fair, more like brutal. For saying this is that, you know, when a lot of these right people go, oh, you want to restrict our rights, you want to do. It's like, yeah, I do. I would want to restrict your rights because I don't think you should have the right to have that. Like, I don't think you are.
Yeah, just as
clever
any
enough.
law
I don't think
restricts
you're
your rights,
responsible enough.
technically.
I don't think, like, just be real about it. Just say, like, I want to restrict your freedoms. Like, I don't think, well, maybe that's not very politically effective, but I mean, you know, in a way, like, yeah,
you shouldn't have
like,
the freedom
I'm
to
sorry.
do anything that you want.
Your freedom, yeah, like your freedom is that freedom is harmful. I'm not giving you that freedom. Okay, like, you know, I
It
don't know.
impinges on other people's freedom.
Yeah, and you're basically making your nation into a worse place. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. Is you're reducing kind of social cohesion and social trust. You know, look at Europe. Like, okay, Britain is kind of mid with the social trust, but look at some of these Scandinavian nations. You can you can always leave your fucking house unlocked for the whole day. You know,
Yeah.
no one has a gun. No one really kills anyone. You know, it's like okay, America's different. It's a massive nation. It's a very different place, but maybe there's some wisdom in these kind of nations that are small. So maybe it's something to learn from them. They've kind of found out how to kind of keep things nice and not schizo.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But yeah, I think the religious right is definitely a threat, and I think if the right wing, if they want to do anything, I think they kind of need to overcome that. But like they kind of need to move beyond that a bit. Like the kind of, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, that probably wouldn't really resemble anything that's right wing anymore because it didn't. But I don't know. It's just I'm just very fed up.
Abolish the right wing.
Anti-abortion, Yeah, I don't know. I want to reset it. I want to reset the right.
Yeah, we need a hard
So
reset.
I'm not like
reset.
anti ideas. There are probably some ideas of the right way that I agree with as well. But like, you know, I'm not complete. I just kind of want to reset. I want to reset the right way. I feel like they've gone schizo, and I want to like. Sometimes you kind of need the right wing to kind of come in and kind of say, well, yeah, do you want to go that far? That's too progressive? Maybe that's too.
Yeah.
You know, but like I feel like now
everyone.
they've just gone like
Everyone's
gone like fucking crazy, and they've just gone like all the way just too far right. Not even far right, just insane, just religious, like insane schizo. At least in America, maybe not so much in Europe.
Yeah, we don't have any of that religious stuff relatively in the UK at least.
But I mean, yeah. Okay, sure, it's all America, but I mean, America's the most powerful nation in the world. You know, America dictates everything. Like, it's so in a way, American politics is kind of world politics because they basically dictate how things go. The world stage, how things are. And will that change in the future? I don't know. Maybe not, depending on how you see it. I don't think. I prefer for them to remain the ones in control than say China or Russia.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Russia,
god! Are you
never,
kidding me?
But,
yeah, that would be terrible.
But yeah, I mean, I I just think, I think the right, the American right, I think they really are their own enemy in some ways as well. I find,
And they love to say the
often
left
that to be
eats
the case.
themselves as well.
Yeah, I feel like the right, or the religious right, kind of eat themselves as well, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and it's the same with the abortion thing. It's like, oh, I don't know. I'm thinking, should we save that for another time? That's a kind of topic in itself, actually.
Yeah,
but
save that one.
maybe, we'll save that for another time. But, what was it? Like, yeah, I think they kind of are their own worst enemy in a way, and I think they just maybe need to just get past this whole like evangelical, not really evangelical. I think it's kind of moving to a weird way, like Catholic as well. This kind of Christian thing. I think they need to they kind of need to overcome this a bit. I think if they want to achieve things, because I think, and also this QAnon thing is just so mind numbing. I just can't deal with it. This whole is completely insane.
No, I haven't
It's,
actually looked
it's
into
very
QAnon at all.
QAnon is essentially. I wonder if maybe I told you about it once. It was basically, so you have like 4chan, which is all good things start with 4chan, right?
You're weak to the bruh sound
And,
effect.
yeah, I instantly start laughing.
4chan.
All good things start with 4chan.
Yep.
Everything.
Nothing
great
good has come from 4chan.
I love 4chan.
Oh, it was a guy
brilliant.
called
Yeah,
Q and
I
he
love-
was anonymous, right?
Yeah, it was like this Q guy starts dropping these and they call them Q drops. So he'll drop all this information about the government, basically claiming that it's insane that Trump and his political side, there's factions of the government. They're all fighting each other. There's one side they're satanic pedophiles
Oh my
or pedophiles,
god.
and then there's another side that's Trump and he's Christian, he's based and he's trying to kill the pedophiles and and it's just it's just such room temperature IQ stuff. It's so boring. It's so not interesting. It's so
Obviously a
I mean,
lie.
I don't know, it's a weird thing to describe. I feel like I say that a lot, just not interesting, because that's almost the response I have to it. It's just this is so boring. I've heard all this stuff before. There's no proof for it. It's just stupid. How can you just really want to hear the same thing over and over again? You really, I don't know. The QAnon stuff is just where I really start to lose it, because I think, wow, you really are your own worst enemy. You are just making it worse for yourself.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
developing a mental illness at this point.
You're just going schizo, and then what happens is basically a kind of breakdown in American democracy, because half the people in the country don't even agree with the world, with the fucking truth. Half the people don't even agree with what happened. That's insane. That doesn't make sense. How can half the people disagree with what happened in real life? I mean, that sounds a bit, but I mean, it's just, you have a fucking election. You kind of, the whole point.
No,
if
it
you
is
want democracy
insane.
to work,
No, honestly, it is
if you
so
want democracy to
insane
work,
that actually.
you have to have people agreeing on something. If you want democracy to work, you have to have a kind of agreement that, okay, a certain side's win, the other side won, well, okay, that's what's fair. That's how democracy works, if you want that to work. And, I mean, you had, Trump basically trying to overturn the election. That's unprecedented. That's just never happened ever.
Yeah.
That's a shocking, I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe the more kind of nihilistic side of me would be willing to maybe do the whole kind of, maybe this is proof that the experiment has kind of failed. The American experiment is a bit of a failure, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, that's maybe that would probably be my very, very controversial. That's kind of a controversial take, but I mean, at least I kind of feel like that's maybe the conclusion I've been kind of moving towards recently. Which maybe we'll maybe get into another time. I think that would definitely make Americans not very happy if they had to hear my have I ever said it to you?
Okay, no, you haven't said that before, but I think Americans already know that no one likes them.
Well, no, it's worse.
No, not like that. I gotta roll it back a second. I
Yeah, I mean,
Americans know that the rest of the world kind of makes fun of them a bit,
Yeah, and that. We know there are many very intelligent Americans who are brilliant.
Obviously, yeah.
Also, there are not. Yeah, I mean,
But there happens to be a lot specifically in America that are not like that.
yeah, I mean, I guess I will get into another time, but okay, if here's just a meme just from what's the biggest mistake of the 18th century? My response recently has been the American Revolution. We'll get into another time. But
Oh my gosh.
and the best thing about that, I mean, just from my like kind of crazy side of me, is that like there is a side of me, I will admit, that I kind of like saying that just because
It's
it gets a
funny.
reaction out of people as well. Like, it's quite a funny thing to say. Like,
Yeah, no, you know,
it
Americans
makes the
love
left
loving
and-
America.
Both the left and the right get seething about it. Like the left
Yeah.
are like with you, because if you say like I hate America, they're like yeah. But then if you say like I hate the American Revolution, they're a bit more like oh
Yeah.
wait. And then-
There's
and
still
the
that
white liberals, they
brainwashed.
fucking hate it, because But I mean, it's kind of true. I think I've been thinking through it a bit, and it's kind of a conclusion I come to recently. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, yeah, we'll have to do that another time. That would probably be a pretty good one. I imagine quite an interesting conversation. I mean, I don't know. I'm interested. What are your opinions on America as a concept? Like, are you pro-American?
Oh, well, current America?
I guess maybe more like conceptually, like the idea of this kind of like, I don't know.
It seems
democratic,
like
free.
nowadays that they love to say they're so free, but I mean, they've got the free speech down, but that seems to be it. Everything, they're free to have guns, but that in the end isn't free because it just ends up, guns are not. They're just not good. What can I say? They're guns. And people love to say guns don't kill people. People do. With guns, you idiot, stop speaking to me. Get out of my space. I don't want to see your... I don't want to see anything.
Guns will kill
Go
people,
away.
kill people. It's like, well, I mean, okay, yeah, nukes don't kill people. People kill people. Like,
Yeah,
so should everyone go
right,
nukes?
okay, so
Like,
I
no,
must-
come on. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Like,
don't be an idiot, man.
Like, of course, yeah, people will kill people, but when you have a gun, you can kill a lot more people than
Yeah.
with a knife. When you have a nuke, you can kill a lot more people than with a gun.
Yep.
I mean, they magnify the number of people they increase. Sorry, that's not the word. You can basically increase the number of deaths by orders of magnitude. You can with a knife you could probably kill a few people. With a gun, you can kill 10 or 20 times that.
Yeah.
Spraying around, shooting random bullets everywhere. Like, it's not the same. And if you won't acknowledge,
And you don't have to
that's
really
the
do
same,
anything
it's
to
not the
shoot a
same.
gun. You can just pull a trigger.
Yeah, I mean,
In the UK, if you want to kill someone, you do it the good old-fashioned way.
yeah, good old
And you
fashioned
get up
way,
close to them, where they grip you, and all of this crap. And you have to kill someone if you want to kill someone. So
Yeah,
the only
really
people that are
do it,
killing
yeah.
people are people who are already nuts and insane. But in America, you barely have to. You could just. Oh my god, the bar for killing people is so much lower when you have a gun. Versus, it's just like pushing a button, literally
Yeah.
pulling a trigger, pushing a
I
button,
think,
and shooting. You
I
can shoot
think
someone
to-
ages away.
yeah.
And to kill someone with a knife is like you have to be so much more nuts to do, and that's why it happens so much less. And I know London has a problem, but it's all
Yeah, but
criminals
it's-
killing other
yeah.
criminals that would probably kill them as well.
I mean, yeah, I've seen this kind of thing where Americans will say, like, well, you have knife crime in the UK.
Yeah,
It's like,
but
yeah, okay. And imagine if
I will never
those
be
guys had
any.
guns
That will
instead.
never go anywhere near me. Like if you've got stabbed, most likely you were gonna. When it comes to where it's actually a problem, where it's actually the knife crime is actually a problem. If you got stabbed, then it's probably because you were going to stab someone else, or you at some point, you're in that circle, you're in the roadman culture. That's how
A lot
it
of
goes.
it is kind of gang. It's a
Yeah,
gang kind of stuff.
If I'm referring to like the actual problem of it,
From
when there's like loads of it happening, that's all gangs killing other gangs. It's gang violence. It's a bit different then, In America, the gun violence is not the problem. The main problem isn't in the gangs. It's in, it's just like innocent people being shot all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, children, schools, it's and look, I know that's not the majority of the gun stuff, but I mean, even just suicide. I mean, it's much easier to kill yourself with a gun than throwing yourself out a window.
Yeah.
Lots of people kill themselves with their guns. Like, maybe that just means something. The bar isn't high enough. Like, maybe people shouldn't be able to have a gun. I don't know. Maybe until they're probably not 18. I wouldn't trust an 18-year-old gun. Not a 21-year-old.
Maybe 20.
Not 20
maybe 23-year-old.
30-year-old.
No, 25-year-old. 23-year-old.
Or, yeah, 25. Maybe 25. You know, something like that. Like, someone who's, you know, more of an adult. Maybe then. And
I'm more of a fan
if
of
I was
having the guns only for self-defense, or any gun you want at a gun range where it's like fun, you know, different.
Yeah,
and it would be impossible to nick one and then shoot up
and
a school.
Maybe like, and then, you know, for self-defense, I think there are certain types of guns that are quite good that aren't really dangerous. Or you could, I don't know,
like
maybe, I know tasers are a little bit, they have problems, but
why do tasers have problems?
I've heard there are problems with like how they, like, they can be defect. They're more likely to be defective than, say, a gun. A gun is pretty straight. You just shoot a bullet.
Okay.
The taser, there's a lot of like mechanisms that can fault.
Yeah.
So I think there is a problem.
It's hard
with that.
not to kill someone, but disable them.
Yeah, it's kind of, and yeah, it's more likely that the taser is going to fail, and obviously in that situation you really want the taser to not fail. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think, yeah. So maybe compared to my fellow Europeans, I'm probably more pro-gun, maybe in some ways, but that's like compared to European people, not compared to Americans. Like compared to Americans, I'm probably like authoritarian on my gun control. Like, you know, I just don't think people should have that freedom. I don't think they deserve it. They just don't. People are not smart enough. People are not moral enough. It's just you know, they're going to do things that are just going to be problematic. I'm not gonna, and I wouldn't allow it. That's just how it is. I would, very restricted. And I think that's probably, we have a very European perspective on it. I think, or a very, not even European, just kind of not American. Just a not American perspective.
Yeah, literally, it's just everywhere but America.
Which is, I think is a more collectivist mindset, and more of a kind of like, you know, there is a more kind of notion of, I mean, yeah, okay, sure, America would like to go with the American people and everything, but I think in the rest of the world we have a more kind of, there is a society, and you are kind of, you know, you kind of have to, you know, there's not just the individual and this kind of free will individual. There is a kind of society, and you kind of have to take part in society, and the way you act has an influence on society. It's like you can't just walk around with guns all the time, because that's just harmful. Like, people don't want to see weapons everywhere. You know, that makes people on edge. It makes people more tense. It makes people. I almost just think even outside of all the, you know, crime and all that, like, it's just a really like distorted way of living. I think just walking around with a gun all the time, I think you're signaling people, I'm one step away from killing you all the time. Like, it's a very, very bad for social cohesion.
I hate it as well, and I agree with what you just said. Yeah, it is terrible.
I don't know.
I mean, have you seen?
Sure,
I think there was. I don't know if this was a specific video or something. It was just no, it wasn't. It was from a video of a guy. Oh, I forget what it was actually, but he was in some sort of middle of America area. Maybe it was more like Texas actually, and there was a child with a kind of Texan hat with a gun. And I forget where it is, but you can be really young and have a gun open carry in America in a certain state, I think. And it's just insane to see that that's legal. And like, what is that child going to do? Kill someone? America, I think we should just make a hole where America used to be, you know? Big hole.
I think, I don't know, I was
Not really.
making a joke. I was making some jokes where it was like, what parts of America are we keeping? And I was like, I'm thinking
none of it.
Okay, New England,
New York.
I'm thinking New England. I'm thinking
New York.
I'm thinking New York, Chicago.
All of that. Isn't that all in one
Los
area
Angeles.
of
We'll keep Los Angeles,
Northern America as well, isn't it? Northern.
We'll keep all of
Eastern
the
America.
beautiful wilderness. Lovely. I'll keep that. Lovely. But
So like
can we please
all the
just,
like a long strip from the top nearest to Canada. That's what you want to keep.
yeah, that area, New England. That's what I want to keep.
Just
that area,
and then
New England, and
and then starting at the edge of Mexico up to like just the bit of America before Canada, just bomb it all.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of
bye
it.
bye.
Bye bye.
I mean,
No
unfortunately,
more.
I joke, but there are aspects of American culture I like as well.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think
It's-
America can be
it's
cool,
just-
but oh my god, it's fucked a lot of the time. Which
Yeah,
is a
I
shame.
think they've got a lot of problems. They got a lot of things they need to overcome. I think
Calm.
they're very. They seem like a very like. They're very religious in the way child kind of being shown how to shoot a gun. Is that what you're saying?
No, he was the child was open carrying a gun at a like going to a restaurant.
The child was open carry.
Yeah.
Jesus, okay.
Oh, you didn't even.
Because
Yeah, look.
there is this.
There's
like,
no. I can't. It's a
Yeah.
kind of semi-distant. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But I'm pretty sure this. It was like a young teenager, very young. You know, like really young to the point where I kind of refer to them as a child. And they had a gun on their hip and they had the Texan hat, but I don't know where it was. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty not great. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think to that there's that kind of side of the Republic, or not even Republic. I think it's just Americans, and maybe in the world. I don't know, but we have this thing where we love seeing like children act like adults. You know, like the idea of a child walking around with a gun is so like that just kind of sucks you. But like. You know, like, oh yeah, you know, you see like a child with a gun, and
Americans.
then he's like shooting at a shooting range, and then you see like all the comments like, that son he's being raised right, he's being that's how you do, you know,
Yeah.
like this kind of weird infatuation of like children having guns and children being adults when they're not really. That's just kind of weird, but
This is Washington Post. I've got up on screen. You can't see it, but apparently they don't have a good reputation, Washington Post, but there's a lot of states. No, there's one state where you can be 14, and it's in the slip that you said you wouldn't bomb. And then there's one where 16. There's two where there's 16.
Well, to open carry a weapon.
Yeah. No, sorry, not just long gun possession. So I reckon that means rifle. Yeah, that means rifle or shotgun. You can be 14 in whatever there is. Where is that? What is that? At the top. I don't know what that is. But that's crazy, right? No minimum? Wait. Wait, I didn't realise. Most of America, it says no minimum. What the hell?
So what?
There's no minimum.
What did it mean,
Can you be
like,
2?
As in,
In Texas, you can be
is
2?
this like the age of like from when your dad can take you out and teach you how to shoot a shotgun?
Yeah, I guess. Well, it says possession, so you can have one. You can own one. You can't
buy
take it
one,
outside, but you can
you
own
can.
it, and you can probably shoot someone with it as well if they break into your house. Doesn't mean that a child can walk into a gun show and purchase a gun.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because that would be too insane. I think Americans would even say that's insane. I think
Yeah.
99%
Oh
of them
well,
would be
yeah.
like, okay,
You mean even insane Americans?
Yes.
But obviously, probably a lot of
Yeah.
Americans know that
I mean,
all
most
gun stuff
Americans,
is
I
insane.
think, a lot of Americans that I think are seeing, kind of see the same view that we have.
I don't know who
Well, that's-
Webster is, but he said if a dad gives his son a rifle or a shotgun on his 13th birthday, he's pretty much free to do that in most states.
Jesus, really?
Oh my
Fucking hell.
gosh.
How can you trust your child with that? What the fuck? I mean, very Darwinian of them, I guess. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
bloody hell. That's a bit crazy. I wasn't expecting that actually. That was a bit more than I was thinking. That really, wow.
You should see.
I mean,
You should see this bloody graph that says minimum age requirements for long gun possession.
It's like
the whole of America says no minimum.
why not just fucking like get your kid a fucking piano or something?
Yeah,
you know,
get him
just don't,
Get him a Stratocaster,
doing?
man. What are you doing?
Get him a Strat. Get him a fucking. You don't have to fucking. They don't have to fucking. I mean, okay, I'm not anti going to the gun range, having a little shoot or whatever, but come on, man. You know, there's better things. There's better things to do with your time.
And they can do whatever they want at the gun range as well, children. They can fire any gun, I think, there.
That's I mean, yeah, I think, I guess the gun culture must just come from this kind of like, I mean, I guess it must just be the kind of worry of being persecuted, right? Is that what it is? Kind of worried about being controlled by some kind of evil government, so you want weapons to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But you think it probably also has its roots in that America is a kind of new country. Like I imagine the colonizing people that went to America probably were pretty armed all the time because they had to.
Because they had to colonize it.
Way through the culture. Yeah, because they had to come onto this land which they don't know, and they're armed. And then I imagine that kind of works way through the culture of like, okay, we stay armed, and then then you have the American Revolution. It's like, okay, government tyranny. Everyone has a firearm, so they can, if government's try and become dictatorship-like, then people can defend themselves against the government, and that's fine in 1776 and 17, and onwards from there. But once you get to around 1900s, that starts to become a little bit not possible anymore.
Bruh.
I mean,
Pretty much.
It's a bit of, that's a bruh.
It's a bruh moment, though. That's the American bruh moment.
Well, I think we'll end it today. Thank you for watching. Turn on the bell notification.
Smash that like button. You already know what to do right now. You gotta comment.
Smash that.
I love you, and I devote my entire soul to you.
Yeah.
Do that right now.
Support